Now let's get into section 16.3, which is talking about macroeconomics effect on the exchange rate. So basically we've learned about aggregate demand, aggregate supply, right? And then how that can changes price level, it changes output, it changes unemployment, it changes inflation. So while you're freaking out thinking, oh my God, we have so much stuff to remember, I'm going to add one more to it. So basically, when there's a change in the macroeconomy, this also changes the exchange rate. So here's how it goes. The central bank will be concerned about the exchange rate because movements in the exchange rate will affect the quantity demanded, the quantity of aggregate demand in an economy. So basically what's happening here is if you have a stronger dollar, remember, stronger dollar means you can buy more foreign goods. Okay, like my dollar is stronger, I can buy more stuff with it. Yes. Okay, so when that happens, you buy more imports. Okay, and because your imports are going up, remember aggregate demand plus C plus I plus G plus X minus M. And if exports are increasing, right, that's a negative effect. Aggregate demand will go down. Okay, so this will decrease aggregate demand, and because aggregate demand is going down, all right, let's see what happens here. We have price level, output, short run aggregate supply curve, aggregate demand, current price level, current output. Because of the stronger dollar, this decreases aggregate demand. And so now this is our new price level, PL2, Y2. So as you can see, this goes down, this goes down. So this is going to decrease real GDP. Frequent, substantial fluctuations in the exchange rate can also disrupt international trade and cause problems in the nation's banking system. So we talked earlier about the balance of payments, right, and that trade of the exports and imports, okay, and if that's affected, that also changes the capital account as well. It also changes the investment as well. So just because the exchange rate is changing, this is going to change a lot of things, for sure. So the central bank has to be aware of this. It's like basically when they notice the exports, when they notice that there is going to be a stronger dollar, they automatically know, okay, that means more imports. Okay, so that means GDP is going to go down. So what does the central bank need to do? Well, they might need to do expansionary monetary policy. They might need more money in order to increase the investment. That way we can increase GDP. So that's what the central bank can do. Because remember, the central bank's goal is low unemployment, low inflation. All right, and if your real GDP is decreasing, unemployment's going up. So we want to increase the monetary policy to where we can increase aggregate demand. All right, so the central bank, as soon as they notice the exchange rate, they're going to look at it and go like, okay, when do we change something? So they're just trying to monitor it is all. The country must also be concerned with rapid movements from a weak to a stronger currency. It may hurt the export industries. Just like we talked about, right? More imports than exports. So this is really going to affect your business. While rapid movements from a strong to a weak exchange rate can hurt its banking sector. So I haven't really talked about the banking sector, so here we go. All right. So basically, here's how it goes. You can borrow money from other banks. You use the exchange rate, and then you can pay it off later with the other currency. So this is the story of how this is going to go. So a bank borrows $1 million in US dollars, and they agree to pay a 5% interest rate. Okay. The bank is going to take this $1 million and convert it to the Thai baht at an exchange rate of 40 baht per dollar. So basically, if we were to do, and again, this is the exchange rate, so 40 baht to a dollar, and we had $1 million, and we don't know what X is, well, we would do the butterfly method because it's beautiful. And we would get 40 million baht, right, is $1 million. So that's what we have. We have this bank here. They got $1 million. They borrowed it, and they converted it into 40 million baht. Now that the bank has Thai baht, they could start selling investments, or they can start loaning out in Thailand, right? They can start loaning out this money, and they're going to loan it out at 6% interest. Okay, so at the end of the year, right, the loan has to be repaid with interest. So this bank is going to receive 42.4 million baht. If you don't know how they got there, all you need to do is 40 million baht times the interest. Boop, 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 boop. So you should do 40 times 6%. So that should be 40 times 0.06, which should equal 2.4. So this is your total interest. Don't let this confuse you with the amount that you have to pay, right? If you borrow 40 million, you have to pay 2.4 in interest and the loan. So the total payment will be 42.4. Okay, so after 1 year, the loan is repaid in 42.4 million baht, right? So the bank should make money, right? I mean, they borrow it at 6, they pay 5% interest, right? So they should make money, but they have to convert it back to the dollar. So now we're going to really figure out what happened here. So I'm going to pick the right side first. Okay, so the bank gets the 42.4 million baht. The bank is going to convert it back to dollars, but now the exchange rate is 50 baht per dollar. Okay, so don't try and look ahead here, but let's go with 50 baht per dollar. And now we have 42.4 million baht. So how many dollars is that? So we'll do 50x 42.4. We'll divide by 50. And so x is equal to, boom, 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 8, 4, so this is $840,000. Okay, if you're wondering why is it a decimal, because I'm not using 42 million, I'm using 42.4. If that's confusing to you, which it's actually confusing me right now, let's do 42.4 million, so 400,000, and then we'll do it over here. And so when we do the math, we should have 848,000. Okay? So that's what the bank gets, right? So they have to pay back the loan here, right? And they pay back the loan of $1 million plus the 5% interest. So in the beginning over here, when the bank borrowed $1 million and they had to pay 5% interest, they know that they owe 1 million plus 5%. So that'd be 1 million times 5%. So that should be $5,000. So they owe 1,005,000. So, or I'm sorry, 50,000. Whoop. 50,000. So from the very beginning, they knew they owe this bank back $1,050,000. When they did the conversions and everything, they ended up with only 848,000. So they have to pay this back. So therefore, you're going to face a loss of $202,000. Okay. So, because of the exchange rate, you actually, and because of the exchange rate, right? And even though you charged a higher interest rate, you still lost money on this transaction. Okay. Now, let's end on a happy note. After 1 year, the loan is repaid with interest, so you get 42.4 million baht. Now you have to convert this back to dollars. Let's say the exchange rate doesn't change, it stays at 40 baht per dollar. So this means you're going to make $1,060,000. If you're confused about that, just do the butterfly method and you're going to get $1,060,000. So we know that we have to pay it back, so that's going to be $1,050,000. And so we actually have an extra $10,000 left over. So we actually profited because we actually profited off of this investment here. All right. So basically, everything in green was the same. Like, that's the story of this bank borrowing money to make money. But because of the exchange rate, it could go either way. It could help you out, or you could lose money. So basically, it's a gamble, right? You could even make more than 10,000, but guess what? You can also lose more than 202,000. So you got to be really careful when you do investments like this. And so a lot of businesses do things like this all the time, and they win or they lose. So that's the danger of the foreign exchange. Okay? In the next video, we'll talk about different exchange rate policies. I'll see you there.